huge. It's hot. Slaves, people everywhere. Hundreds, thousands. There's oxen carts. Standing on a platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big celebration. Everyone's happy the pyramid's finished. It's built. It's done. Come down off the platform with 3 others. We go into the entrance of the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
Much cooler and dark. You have torches. We walk for 5 minutes inside the pyramid till we come to a blank wall. We reach overhead and we touch the stone and it moves out the way.
Mm-hmm. What happens next?
We have a ladder, we climb up into the hole that is made by the stone. There's another corridor, smaller this time. And we follow it along. I think the walls are smooth, even though it's sandstone. They're very smooth. Follow this round corners, so you really don't know whereabouts you are.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I do know where I am, but anyone else would not know where they were,
Mm-hmm.
in which direction they were facing. Keep going. Come to another blank wall. Down the bottom I touch another rock, stone, and the whole side of the wall opens.
Mm-hmm.
And we walk in. We go through all these different sections again, and it happens over and over, so that we're in a puzzle maze, basically. And eventually we come to a room, a large room. This is where the Pharaoh will be placed with his wife and his belongings.
Mm-hmm.
It's all perfect, it's all working, everything is as it should be. We come back out, close it all up as we come, and we come back outside again.
You seem to be very familiar with the pyramid. Have you been in there before?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
often, all the time. I designed it so that it would not be able to be breached by others who don't know how to get into it.
I see.
I'm satisfied with it. I think it will work. I don't think it will be easily intruded upon.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All we've left now is to seal the original corridor that walks into it.
Mm.
But that will be done privately and quietly, away from prying eyes.
So on this day of celebration, who was allowed to go into the pyramid to have a look?
Myself, my second in command, who was in charge of stone and where we get them and how we get them. Another who was in control of the slaves, and my younger brother. So he has helped with the building of it.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
There's no women anyway. No women have touched this pyramid.
Mm-hmm. And why is that?
Because it's sacred. Only men have the ability to keep it sacred.
I see. What else can you tell me about that? Why is it that only men have the ability?
Because women are only chattels. They're only there to serve men,
Mm-hmm.
to rear their children, to cook their food, and to be in service of the men.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be queen, whether it be pauper, it doesn't matter.
All right. So I want you to have a look down at your feet, and I want you to describe what you look like for me. What is it that you're wearing on your feet?
Okay, I have sandals. They're a brown leather sandal.
Mm-hmm.
But flat sole.
Mm-hmm.
They're also made of leather. There's a tie around the front at the ankle, basically to crossover piece across the toe, across the part of the foot.
Mm-hmm.
So they tie on, basically. They're common to be worn in this life.
And is there a name that you refer to yourself as?
Haji.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the pyramid that you helped to design, is there a name for that pyramid?
Not yet, it's up to my brother should give it a name. That is his doing.
Mm-hmm. And the pharaoh who will...
That is my brother. My older brother.
Your older brother is the pharaoh?
Yes.
And what's his name? What do people call him?
Shahasha, I think.
Very good. All right. So the people are out today to celebrate the completion of the pyramid. What else is happening? How do people celebrate?
They're given food. They're given bread rolls and wine. Even the slaves. Later on this afternoon, the Pharaoh will come and visit the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
Then there will be a feast back at his palace. All family and noblemen will be there.
None of the people and the slaves will be there?
No.
Alright, so I want you to scan the scene and tell me if there's anyone or anything there that calls your attention.
It's a young boy.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about the young boy.
Can't be any more than 10. He's very upset.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he's going to be killed down at the pyramid. Is finished because he won't have work to do.
It's a very sad thing to think.
He will not be killed.
Mm-hmm.
There are older slaves that will be there. A lot.
Is that typically what happens?
Yes. The younger, stronger ones will be kept. The older ones killed.
That's a very sad thing for this little boy to feel that way.
He sees his future.
And who was it that sets the rules for this future?
Pharaoh. It's the way it's always been. They're there to serve. Whatever capacity the Pharaoh requires.
And so when they are no longer needed, they are killed?
Yeah.
I see. What else is there about this scene that is important?
Just the difference between the soldiers and the people who have built this temple and pyramid that is there to be the way they are dressed and the way they are, the intelligence and knowing that they have compared to the slaves who know nothing and who are dressed in rags. Whereas we have silken robes, gold sceptres. We have this sort of has jewels in the hilt that would buy 10,000 slaves. So it's just the difference between them and us.
Yeah. How do you feel about that difference?
I don't care. I was brought up that way. I was brought up to know that I was noble. That's it. So I don't worry.
All right. So now let's leave that scene and let's move forward to an important day in the life that you are viewing, a day you consider to be important when something is happening. So you've now moved forward, just be there and tell me what's happening.
Pharaoh's dying. There's wailing and crying all over, right through the palace. Because not only is the Pharaoh dying, but his wife will die, his servants will die, and those who wish to travel with him in his journey will also die, as will I.
And what about yourself?
I will travel with him.
And how are you feeling?
It's accepted. It's what I was meant to do. I've done what I've came for. I built his tomb, and so I will die in it. It is my resting place as well. And my wife and 2 of my children.
So what will happen?
He will be wrapped in his shroud when he dies. Our soldiers will come, put a dagger to the heart of myself and the ones who are going with him. And we will also be wrapped in a shroud, taken to the pyramid. The younger brother will not go, he'll stay behind because he is the one who knows the entrance ways. I have chosen to go with him, to go with my brother, my Pharaoh brother. Feel at peace.
Yeah.
This is always my destiny.
So you've accepted it. And so now you'll all be taken into that room that we visited in the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah.
His gold and treasures will also be there. Things he has acquired through his lifetime. I will be left behind for my son, my eldest son. I will take nothing.
So let's have a look around one final time before we move to the other side. Anything left about this scene that you feel is important?
Women crying.
Do the women come along too?
Yes. Oh yes.
How are they feeling about it? Do they accept it like you do?
Some do, some don't. Doesn't matter if they accept it or not. It will be done.
And they will die by a dagger to the heart, just as you did?
Yes.
Okay. And at this stage, how old do you think you feel?
late 30s, maybe.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so we're going to leave that scene behind. Whatever has happened has already happened, and now you are on the other side. You are in spirit, looking back. Tell me what you see and what you perceive.
Say the new Pharaoh. That's as it was meant to be. I do understand that I've had absolutely no humility whatsoever. Well, it's part of the humility thing.
Yeah.
No consideration whatsoever for anybody except my older brother and myself.
I see. What else do you see from that perspective?
Sheer arrogance. Oh,
Could you have been any other way?
probably not.
Since you're
Not to survive. No, I would not have survived if I were.
you were conditioned a certain way from a very young age.
True.
In a society like that, would there have been much room to be of any other way?
Absolutely not. There's no wastage, including human life.
Tell me more about that. What do you mean?
I mean that when you're born into a family, irrespective of rich or poor, you have expectations on you to become a soldier, to become a student, for women to learn to cook, to look after men. If you didn't conform, then you were just taken away and banished. You were gone from that earth. So boys were taken at a young age to become soldiers. They trained from the age of 8. They didn't see their family again. They started their own family when they were older, knowing full well these children would be demanded that they go into service of the Pharaoh. They were educated. They were taught what they were needed to know. They were engineers, people who could manufacture things. It was a very rich time.
So it must have been very prosperous for the people who were born into nobility. What about the other side of society? From your perspective,
From my perspective,
what does it look like to you?
they lived wherever they could. They had to find ways of making a living. They were free Egyptians to do as they wished, but if they were poor, they were uneducated. They weren't educated. Therefore, they were very restricted in what they could do. Farm hands, slaves did most of that anyway. So they were caught in the middle, I think. Slaves to do things, so the manual labour wasn't available to them, and their lack of education didn't allow them to step out of the poverty that they were in.
Did they have access to the education if they wanted to?
No. Only a certain level of person was available to be educated. That's why they wanted their sons or daughters to become soldiers or handmaidens. That way that would rather lift them out of poverty. And the very beautiful young girls, all the very strong young men were taken and accepted. Some families had no options at all.
So every life has a lesson and a purpose, and as you look back at that life, what do you think the lesson was for you?
For me now, it's certainly to be more humble, to be more caring, because I didn't care one jot about anybody. If they were killed, it didn't matter. The abundance that we had was just ridiculous.
Yes.
Everything was gold, everything was jewelled. Not caring where the gold came from or how it was obtained. Just amassing these things. Golden orbs and, ridiculous. But then you were judged by your wealth.
Yes. And what do you think that your purpose of that lifetime was?
To be in service of my brother.
Did you have a good relationship with your brother?
Yes.
There was a mutual respect?
Definitely.
Very good. So from the perspective of spirit, what is happening on the other side? All those souls, all those people who went with your brother, what will happen to them? What will happen to you now? Where will you go?
I will go to the sun god Ra, and those who came with us will also be there, journey there.
How will you get there?
Through levitation, we'll simply move up. You know how to levitate. It's just our soul, our spirit will levitate up to the sun god, where our lives will be celebrated.
So are you interacting with all the other souls right now? And how are they feeling? The ones that were crying because they didn't want to go?
They're fine now. They're happy. It's a joyous occasion. We've come home.
Yes.
So irrespective of how we felt at the time of our passing, we're all enjoying our transformation to spirit.
Yes. So you all levitate with each other to the sun god Ra. And then from there, will you spend a little time there or a lot of time before you move on to the next incarnation?
It will be different for each person. Each individual will be different depending on their journey, if they have achieved what they were looking to do in this lifetime. They will move on quickly. If they've had some difficulty, it will be discussed and mapped and done whatever needs to be done, and then we'll move on.
And what about yourself? Do you think you'll stay for a while, or would you go on very quickly to the next incarnation?
I go on quickly.
Do you know what the next incarnation will be?
May not be so easy. This time I'm female. That already puts certain problems as I perceive them.
So now you get to experience the other side.
Exactly right.
Okay, and do you know the region, the area, the society you will be incarnating into?
I'm going back to Egypt again.
Right.
Then I'll be born into a royal house. But to perceive the female side of life in the times. Oh boy.
And you chose that? How does it get decided where you go?
You do have a say,
Mm-hmm.
but the Grand Masters and the Masters make suggestions, and to be really fair, where you have several choices, they are depicting to you what you need to learn, what you need to do to transform and become a higher entity in the spirit world. So only a fool rejects their opinions, so you can discuss it with them, and certain issues and things that will come on.
Mm-hmm.
But then you do have, as I say, a choice of several. So you may pick the hardest one or the easier one, whatever you perceive it to be.
Mm-hmm.
But you are free to choose from those usually 4 choices.
Very good. Very good. All right. So I'll let you go on your journey. And so we're going to now move away from that scene. So we're leaving the person there to continue on his or her own journey.